We grew all kinds of crops, tomatoes and cucumbers and strawberries and squash and cauliflower and lettuce and you name it.
Yeah.
We grew it, and some would come in with trucks, and they would buy boxes and boxes and take it up to adjoining communities and sell it. We pretty much kept to ourselves. We did, we were quite law-abiding, honest citizens.
Right.
Doing our best to survive. These were Depression years, and how my dad got enough money to purchase this farm, I don't know, but somehow he did, and so we were just trying to survive the Depression with 8 kids. I didn't know we were going into an internment camp. We were to report to a train station, and we're given roughly 5 days to get rid of everything. It was just an unconscionable thing to ask. And I'm sure my dad must have broken his heart, to have. I mean, this is his adopted country. For us, it was our country. I mean, we were all citizen kids, and to ask us to leave with what we could carry in our hand. I had some rabbits. I just opened the door and let them loose. We had dogs. We just left them. Well, the first thing you notice, obviously, is a fence, barbed wire surrounding the fence. Second thing you notice are the guard towers, and then during the day you had the jeep load of military police who circled the fence, and at night then the searchlights would come on. It was just like these wartime movies, in prison you got these lights and, these guard towers, they're up there with the people who are armed, and they're going to shoot you if you try to crawl under the fence. Heat and the cold. I mean, temperatures would go over 100. In wintertime, the temperatures could go below 0. And the barracks were very flimsily built. I mean, they were very poorly constructed. They're one layer of brick. You lift up a brick and there's your sand. When I was older, I finally got a job unloading lumber. I was paid $8 a month. I mean, that's $2 a week, or 40 cents a day. 8 cents an hour. PE time would come along, and there was no equipment, so they rolled up some mattresses and tied a string around it, and your PE activity consisted of running and diving over this mattress and doing a roll, and that was about it. We were just trying to survive best we could. But it broke up our family. I mean, we were scattered here and there. We never operated as a family after the camp experience. You learn to keep a low profile. We did have that little corner grocery store, and that for me, that plus school was the thing that kept me going. I said, yeah. I was in one for 3 years. And he said, well, can you tell us about that? I mean, we were in the class together with the students. And I started talking, and I started crying. I never cried. But it somehow had been bottled up all that time. And, you know, Grenada, the town of Grenada, where Amache is, when you first went down there, a bunch of people from Denver went, and they wanted to put up a memorial, you know, for the guys who were killed. The mayor of that town said, there's no camp here. You know? As if nothing had ever happened. The loss of freedom. Yeah. You know, and that's pretty darn precious, I tell you. Yeah. When you've had it and you lose it, you can, and for no reason. It's a loss of freedom. It's pretty darn precious. That's why people come to the United States. I mean, that's why we all look to the United States. And it's a symbol of freedom. And then for them to do something like what they did, and it's unconscionable. And the way to prevent that, I think, is through education. And, you know, education is something they can't take away from you. And so that which goes into your mind stays there. Because when they start doing things like this, that's when you gotta get on top of it and say, you know, no more, never again. And you can't do it unless you're educated and you have the facts to back you up. This is what happened to us. You can't let this happen to another group, whether they're Muslims or Chinese or Mexican Americans or whatever.